The Grenadier Battlement Stratagem has just been distributed to all Helldivers after the successful completion of the previous major order against the IIlluminate, and in this video, I will be explaining how it works, its stats and mechanics, its strengths and weaknesses, and lastly, I will be ranking the new stratagem and its effectiveness against all three factions. To begin, the Grenadier Battlement is a stationary defensive stratagem similar to the HMG emplacement. Once you call it in, it deploys from its hull pod, extending small side panels on each side for protection. After the panels are finished fully extending, you are allowed to use the mounted grenade launcher. Please note that if you place the emplacement on rough terrain, one or both of the cover panels may not fully deploy. The Grenadier Battlement uses a grenade launcher that holds 60 rounds and can be used in either semi or auto fire modes. It can only be rotated roughly 170 degrees, meaning you need to be careful positioning the stratagem when you call it in. It deals the same damage as the standard grenade launcher support weapon and serves nearly the same purpose. It has a cooldown time of approximately 2 minutes, which is noticeably shorter than the 3-minute cooldown of the other emplacements. When it comes to its strengths and weaknesses, its main purpose is crowd control, as it strives to deal with hordes of small and medium-sized enemies, and without needing to reload after every 10 rounds like the conventional grenade launcher, it deals very consistent AoE damage. Obviously, it does best on defense missions, hence it being classified as a defensive stratagem, as it is best used when you have time and space to set it up properly. On the other hand, it struggles greatly against larger enemies due to many factors such as its limited range, inability to penetrate heavy armor, and its stationary nature. Based on what I just said, if you want to use the stratagem on higher difficulties, you definitely can, and I would highly recommend bringing and staying close to a friend with anti-tank weapons and/or stratagems. This way, you can create a powerful synergy that can deal with all of the enemy types. When it comes to dealing with the Teminids, it does a great job at getting rid of the immense hordes of bugs with ease, and can effortlessly clear out all of the nests. It is very useful on Terminid defense missions, but its inability to deal with heavy enemies makes it a bit less helpful on the higher difficulties, as one hit from a charger or a single spray from a Battle Titan is enough to kill you and the battlement. Additionally, if any bugs sneak up behind you, or if the horde eventually gets too close, you have to ditch the battlement as you can't turn around to shoot them, rendering it almost useless. The side panels can block some of the acid damage and melee attacks that the Teminids use, but some of your body is still exposed, including your head, so it won't stop all of those attacks. Overall, I would rank the Grenadier Battlement as an A tier against the Teminids, definitely a stratagem that I enjoy. Moving on to the Automatons. The Grenadier Battlement doesn't do that well against bots for a number of reasons, as you could probably predict. Firstly, bots don't often form in huge saturated hordes just like the Teminids do, making the crowd control a bit less effective. Additionally, it cannot deal with hulks or factory starters very well due to the lack of heavy armor penetration, making it even less useful. Also, although the side panels can block small arms fire and that is helpful, your head and small parts of your upper body are still exposed, and the countless number of explosives and rockets are not completely blocked by the panels, making it much less useful than I had anticipated. With all of that being said, I would rank the Grenadier Battlement as a C tier against the Automatons. It still holds a purpose, but it's much less effective on this front as it is on the other fronts. Lastly, the Grenadier Battlement does a pretty decent job at dealing with the IIlluminate. Currently, there's only one heavy unit in the IIlluminate faction, that being the Harvester. So, its weakness against heavy units isn't as much of an issue as it is with the other factions. Additionally, it does a fabulous job at dealing with the large voteless hordes it can easily two-shot overseers. The only main downside I see is trying to deal with elevated overseers, which are slightly harder to hit because they are flying, and they can also toss grenades at the battlement. But even then, this stratagem is a great tool against the IIlluminate. Overall, I would give the Grenadier Battlement an S tier against the IIlluminate. In conclusion, the new Grenadier Battlement Stratagem is fun to use against the Teminids and the IIlluminate, but struggles a bit when dealing with the Automatons. It is best used alongside teammates that have anti-tank weapons in order to create a powerful synergy. Let me know what you think about this new stratagem in the comments. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed my review, and I will see you guys in the next video.